Hello and welcome. I'm Laura, and today we have a lovely, gentle class to move through together. So find a comfortable space and let's get started. We'll begin today's class in your We'll begin today's class in whichever seated posture works best for you today. I'm going to kneel, but maybe cross-legged feels good for you. Or maybe cross-legged, but with a blanket or cushions underneath your seat to raise the hips up a little bit. Just finding a nice, comfortable stance on your mat so you can rest here, land in this space for a moment. So finding the pose that works for you today. Maybe it's kneeling like this. Becoming aware of the space around you, sounds moving. Landing down, softening. Feeling the earth hold you. And drawing energy up from the earth. Can you feel that energy lifting up through your seat, up through your spine as it passes your belly, lifting up out of your waist, drawing energy up through your chest, up to your shoulders as they melt down your back, up through your neck and the crown of your head. Inhaling tall, exhaling to soften. Just noticing your breath. Each inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And we'll move through some gentle breath work together. Your pranayama today will be equal parts breathing. So that will be every time you inhale, we'll count for 4. And then you'll hold your inhale at the top for 4. And then we'll exhale it out for 4. Hold it at the bottom for 4. And we'll repeat this cycle. I'll do the counting, so don't worry, you can follow my count as we go through. And if you feel that you need to break out of this breathing at any time, if the holds are too long for you, you can just return to your own breath, your rhythm at any time. So I invite you to join me in this pranayama. Ready? Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale back to your breath. Exhale back out. Feel a slow return to your rhythm. You invited that beautiful pranayama, that energy, the breath work and flow through your body, returning to your own rhythm. Maybe note how you feel now versus before. Has your natural breath changed? Has your posture changed? And we'll begin to invite some gentle movement into your body today. So start with rolling your shoulders back a little bit, like you're shrugging off any tension, rolling it back. And then bring your shoulders all the way up to your ears, and then drop them down. We'll do that once more. Inhale them up, drop them down. And roll your head gently. So dropping your chin down to your chest. Can you roll it over to your left? Back down to the center. Over to your right. Back to center. Over to your left. Back to center. Over to the right. Back to center. And bring your chin gently back up here. We'll take some gentle side bends together. So taking your left hand out to the side, you can just lift yourself up on your fingertips here. Just raising yourself up a little bit. And then sweeping your right arm up and overhead. Lifting out of your waist. Feel your rib cages lifting up and out. Creating this lovely expansion in your side body here. Reaching up and over. You don't have to feel like you're falling too deep like this into the pose. It's all about the lift in the side body. Inhaling up. Exhale to soften down. And back to center. Switching sides. The right fingertips hold you up. The left hand sweeps up and over. Lifting up and out of your side body. Breathing in tall. Exhale to soften. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale to soften and unwind yourself back to your center. We'll take a twist. So taking your left hand behind you, it can rest just on your sacrum above your hips here, or maybe you lift up on your fingertips just behind you here, lifting you up. Whatever feels comfortable for you. If you're up on a seat, maybe you just rest your hand on your sacrum. So lifting up, giving yourself some nice length coming out of your waist here. Taking your right hand to rest on your knees. And as we twist, we're going to imagine your body is like a big spiral staircase. And there's a lighthouse right at the top of your head here is the light. So as you turn, you're going to begin to turn that spiral staircase so the light is facing forward. You're turning from the bottom, turning over to your left. The base of your spine is twisting, and as it goes around, imagine that spiral staircase turning around. So the rib cage turns, begins to twist. Eventually the shoulders twist a little bit. And as you reach all the way to the top of that staircase, the light can just tip gently over to your left shoulder. Really getting that lovely twist all the way through your spine here. Inhaling tall. Exhale to soften into the twist. Gently unravel back to center. So keeping that feeling of the spiral staircase curling around all the way from the base up to the top. Take your fingertips behind you. Take your left hand over to your right thigh. Inhale tall. And begin to twist your staircase round. Your gaze is forward and neutral. Turning with your spine. Twisting, twisting, twisting around as it travels up. And as you reach the top, your gaze just shifts over to the right gently. Inhaling tall. Exhale to soften. Inhale, tall. Exhale to unravel gently back to the center. And we'll take a forward fold, reaching forward gently. If you're cross-legged, you might not go as far. Kneeling, maybe just reaching forward gently. Nice long spine here still. Maybe come up on your fingertips, making it active. Pulling your seat behind you and reaching forward with your chest. Maybe you go a little deeper. Play with the depth of what works for you today. Pulling your hips, your seat back. And then padding yourself gently back up to your seat. And take your legs out from underneath you. If you have any props, just move them out to the side for now as you prepare to come up into a tabletop. So taking your hands underneath you, nicely stacked under your shoulders, all the bones in one line under each other, and your knees underneath your hips here. And yogi's choice of if you like to have your toes tucked or the backs of the feet on the mat here, whatever works for you. You can play, see if this one feels better. The fingertips under, the backs of the toes under. And then pushing up through your hands, find that nice length. I feel like your tailbone is pulling away in that direction and the crown of your head forward. So you've got a nice long line here. And we'll move through a round of cat-cows together. So as we move through this, the cow is your inhale. So I'll show you first. You drop your chest and your belly down. So you get this dropping feeling. And then as you do that, you pull the chest forward. So imagine there's a rope on the front of your chest and it's pulling you forward, pulling forward. And you can almost feel like your hands are clawing you back with this motion as well. Pulling the chest forward and the tailbone lifts. This is your inhale. And then on your exhale, we go the opposite way. Your tailbone tucks all the way under and you lift and arch up just like a hissing cat, pushing away with your hands and broadening across your shoulders. You really want to feel like you're getting that stretch all the way across them. You arch and lift and your belly button pulls up into the back of your spine as much as possible. And that's your exhale. So we'll move through that together. We'll do 3 rounds. So we'll start with your inhale. So inhale, cow, drop your belly, pull your chest forward, tailbone lifts. Exhale, cat, rounding, pushing your mat away, arching, lifting up, tailbone tucks, dropping back down for your inhale. Take a moment to come back to your breath. Your inhale and exhale. Note if there were any differences on either side. Did one side feel lighter than the other or tighter? Just noting the differences. Coming back to your breath, your inhale, your exhale. And slowly padding your hands back up, gently coming back up from your child's pose. And we'll move back into your tabletop as we prepare to come into your first downward dog of the day. So placing your hands down firmly into your mat, tucking your toes under as you prepare to press down and lift your knees up, taking your hips all the way back behind you. And take a moment here to adjust your stance. Maybe you need a little bit more length in your down dog. You need to come in a bit more. Find the one that works for you. Pushing up and away with your hands. Your hips lifting back. Your head drops, gaze drops, looks through your thighs if possible. Pushing up and away. And maybe taking a moment to pedal your feet out a little bit here. Just play, allow your legs to move. You can always have bent legs as well in your downward dog. Your feet do not have to touch the bottom. The heels can be lifted. Your legs can be bent. Find your downward dog today. Pressing up and out. And exhaling to come back down into your tabletop, lowering your knees. And then lowering your chest all the way down for your cobra. Slowly lowering yourself down. You can uncurl your toes, allow the backs of the feet to come down onto your mat. And we'll lift up for cobra. And if through this motion, similar to your cow pose earlier that we went through, you inhale and you feel like you're pulling your fingertips back and your chest draws forward to get that lovely lift. So together now, pull your elbows in as much as possible. Draw your fingers back and inhale. Pull yourself up and forward. Exhale down. We'll go through it once more. You can press down with the backs of your feet to help with the lift as well. Inhale, claw your hands back. Lift your chest. Inhale. Exhale all the way back down. Press yourself back up through your tabletop, all the way back into a child's pose again. Taking a moment to rest. Coming back to your breath, your own rhythm. Your inhale, your exhale. We'll come back up into a downward dog. So pressing yourself up gently. You can move through into your tabletop first. Find your stance again. Find the distance that works for you. Tucking your toes under and pressing yourself all the way back into your downward dog here. Pressing up and away, the hips lifting up. We'll move through into your low lunge, your Anjani Asana. So begin to shift your weight forward, like you're moving forward into your plank. And as you do so, tucking your left knee all the way up into your chest as much as you can. So this is where we have our cat motion again. You feel that arching as you lift to make space for your foot, plant it up to the front of your mat. And you can always just pick your foot up and place it where it needs to be as well. So framing your foot at the front of your mat, the back knees dropped down, the toes can be tucked under. Begin to lift yourself up here for your low lunge. And during this practice, we'll do this kind of pose a couple of times. And I like to refer to this energy of like a scissor-like motion we can use to keep the hips square. So when you're in this pose, like I'm doing right now to talk to you, you can easily open the hips up. So the left hip is more forward than back one here. But to make them come together, imagine your legs are like a pair of scissors and you're going drawing them together. So that left one is pulling back, the right one is pulling forward, and that can help to square them back up again. So left hip crease back, right one forward. So imagine they're like a pair of scissors to keep those hips nice and square. So pressing firmly down with your feet here, lifting yourself up, pulling that left hip crease back, finding that lovely length throughout your spine, lifting up and out, inhaling tall. And perhaps you play with your hands here. Maybe they come up. Maybe you come forward in your lunge a little bit, leaning into it. Coming back. Maybe your hands stay here. And framing that front foot to prepare to step all the way back into your downward dog again. Staying here for a moment. Pressing, lifting away with your hips. Coming back to your breath. Inhale. Exhale. And shifting your weight forward ever so slightly. Can you tuck your right knee into your chest, tucking it up, arching like a cat. Pulling that foot all the way to the front. Laying your foot down. Back toes can be tucked or back of the foot down. And lifting all the way up here for your low lunge. And keeping that scissor-like energy of your legs coming together, pulling in. And this also helps create that sort of lift neutrality in your space here, your spine. Lifting up, pulling the legs together. Maybe your arms come up. Maybe they come to your heart space here. Maybe you lean a little deeper into your lunge. Find the space that works for you today. Play with the pose a little bit, chance to experiment here. And then framing your front foot, coming all the way back into your downward dog here. So pressing up and out. And let's come back down for a child's pose for a moment, dropping your knees down and taking your hips all the way back here. Resting for a moment in your child's pose. An opportunity to come back to your breath. Coming through into one more down dog so we can come all the way back up to standing. So pressing yourself up gently back through your tabletop. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees and take your hips all the way back up behind you for your downward dog. And then gently stepping your feet forward, slowly walking them forward so you come into your forward fold here, your Uttanasana. Nice big generous bend in the knees here though. So your thighs can meet your chest here, they can connect. You can just hang down heavy here. Enjoying this forward fold. And gently rolling up very slowly. You need to peel your spine up bit by bit. Rolling, rolling. Your head stays down. It's the last thing to come up. So you inch your way up so slowly to Tadasana, your mountain pose here. And take a moment to connect back down to the earth, your mat, your space. Sending strong roots down through your feet, drawing energy all the way back up through your legs, through your hips, your spine. You lift up and out of your waist, your shoulders rolling and melting down your back, your neck long, energy coming all the way up through the crown of your head. Notice your breath, how your inhale and your exhale are moving. We'll move through a few standing postures together today. So you should be hopefully at the front of your mat here in your Tadasana, your standing mountain pose here. And we'll move into a high lunge. So pressing firmly down with your left foot. See if you can peel your right foot up gently. And then take it all the way back behind you. Nice big step. And play with the distance that works for you here today. Maybe it's a lot further. Maybe it's just here. See what works for you. And rooting that front foot firmly down into the mat. And the toes are tucked under behind you for your high lunge. Play with the distance. Maybe you're here. Maybe you want to play with the depth and go a little bit lower. And again, that scissor-like energy of the legs coming together. Firming down, really strong, rooting down for your high lunge. Perhaps your hands come up, lifting up and out of your waist. Perhaps they're at prayer in your heart center. Nice, strong legs. And then pressing down in the back foot and lift yourself back to standing at the front of your mat here. And repeat on the opposite side. So shifting your weight over into your right foot, peeling your left foot up, and then taking a nice big step all the way back behind you. Maybe you stay up here for this high lunge. Maybe you're here, and that's totally fine. And hands can stay in prayer. Maybe they come out to the side or they come up. Maybe they just rest on your thigh. Maybe you want to go a little bit deeper. And again, that scissor-like energy, the legs coming together. Hands coming together, or maybe they inhale up above you. Firming down strongly through your legs. That scissor-like energy. Drawing up out of your waist. Then pressing firmly down into that back foot to help propel you up to the front of your mat here. I'm reset for a moment in Tadasana. Inhaling tall. Exhale to soften. Inhaling tall. Exhale to soften. And we're going to move through into your Warrior 2, your Virabhadrasana 2. So it's a similar motion that we're going to shift our weight over into your left foot and take a nice big step back with the right foot. But this time we're opening up. So we're going against that scissor-like motion this time a little bit. So we'll set this pose up first of all so you can get a feel for it and see what stance works for you. Typically, you would have your front foot facing forward and the back foot points to the top corner of your mat. And the alignment would be that your heel meets the inner arch of the back foot. But this might not feel accessible for you. So if you do need to have a little bit more of a
sort of changed stance to it, maybe the leg needs to come out to the side a bit, that's fine. And if you need to bring it in a little bit further, that's okay too. Or maybe it goes deeper. Play with the stance that works for you. But if you want to try, then the heel keeps in line with the inner arch of the back foot. And that creates one kind of nice long line here. So the front toes point forward, the back foot points to the top right corner of your mat here, and that helps to create some nice stability. Then feel your firming down into that back blade of the foot there. Really press down with that foot to help draw that energy up into your legs here. And then as you do that, the front knee bends down. And mine has a tendency to want to collapse in. So if you're anything like me, you have to really think about rotating that hip all the way out to the side. So really roll it round. Try and keep that knee in line with the toe so it stays out. And bringing it forward, pressing firmly down with the back foot, opening up here, lifting up and out of your waist. And if at any point you feel you just need to strain your leg to have a little rest, that's fine. So coming down into this pose here, taking breaks when you need to, pressing and rooting firmly down, opening up, lifting up tall through your spine. The waist lifts up and out. Can you bring your arms out to the side? And take a moment to just look at them. Are they level? Do they feel even? And imagine you have two friends pulling on either side of your fingertips, going either way. There's a tendency to do this a little bit in warrior. So feel that you're being pulled either way gently. And as you set this up, then you can take your gaze to the front fingertips. Just look over the fingertips. Settling into this space. Strong pose, the back arms purling back as well. Inhale, tall. Exhale to drop straight in that front foot. Whew, it's quite a workout on the legs, huh? And then you can bring your front foot all the way back to the front of your mat here. Now I'm going to stay here just so you can see me doing it this way, but you can come back to the front of your mat and always step this foot back. Or if you're already here, you can just turn and face the other way. So this foot, the left one, points all the way to the top of your mat. The right foot points into the top corner here, pointing up to the top. And again, you can set this up so that the heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Maybe you need to have a little bit of distance, stagger it a bit, and find how much space you need between your legs as well. Did you need to go a little bit further, did you feel? Or you need to bring the stance in a bit? Play around with it, see what works for you. So pressing your feet firmly down, really rooting down, especially in that back corner of the back foot there. Pressing on the outer blade of it, pressing down as you then bend your front knee, keeping sure that it pulls out to the side here. Bending down, lifting up and out of your waist, pulling tall out through the crown of your head. And your hands raise up. See if they're in line, have a little look. And feel like someone's pulling either way. Even pressure here being pulled. Shoulders melting down. And as you're here, the gaze can come over to the front fingertips. Strong pose here in your warrior. Pressing firmly down in your feet. Arms pulling out either side. Inhaling tall. And exhale, soften, lower your hands and straighten that front leg. And point your toes forward for the moment. Whew. And take a rest here. It's a strong pose, it can be a lot. So, and if you need to take breaks, you can come out of the pose anytime. So the next one we're going to do is Trikonasana, your triangle pose. It's a similar setup to warrior. So you're going to turn your right toes to the front of your mat, the left ones to the top corner here again. And again, it's the same alignment. You might want to bring
And you can walk your feet all the way back as you move through into your final down dog of the day. Back through into your downward dog here. Pressing back, lifting your hips up. Bending your knees, coming back down through your tabletop and into a well-deserved child's pose. A moment to rest and just recuperate a little bit here. Coming back to your breath. Your inhale and exhale. Notice how your breath moves now compared to the beginning of your practice. How do you feel? Did some parts feel easy? Did some parts feel challenging? Just noticing them without any judgment. Just note those feelings, those experiences, and come back to your breath. And come back up onto your mat. So begin to cool down and release your body. Coming to sit across the long edge of your mat here. And to move through Janu Shirasana, which is head to knee pose, a forward fold, but we can adapt it to make it accessible and work for your body in whatever capacity that is. So taking your right leg out to the side, the toes pointing up, the left foot comes in and bends like so. And this would be your forward fold here. But if this feels inaccessible or uncomfortable, you can always lift the seat up by placing a bolster, some cushions, pillows underneath your seat. Raise your hips up a little bit. And if this front leg is bent, that's totally fine as well. You can also put some cushions underneath there to make it a little bit more comfortable. And this leg can also, if it doesn't feel good being bent like this, you can always just stay out to the side here as well or be bent as well. So find the one that works for you. Maybe you need to grab some cushions, bring your seat up, place some under here. Find the way that it's accessible for your body today. So right leg comes out in front. The toes point up. The left foot comes in towards the thigh here, wherever it lands. And the knee, maybe your knee comes all the way down. Mine doesn't. Mine sits up a little bit here. So I could always get a cushion to prop it up here as well. And then taking your fingertips either side of that front leg. Really feel like you're pulling your toes up and reaching forward. So with your fingertips, feel like you're clawing your body forward, keeping the spine nice and long. We're not rounding and arching and sort of hunching over like this. Pulling forward, lifting forward with your chest here. Coming into a lovely little forward fold. And feel like you're pressing down and away with the back leg as well. Can you pull it down? Pulling it away from the front one here. Making it quite active. Reaching forward, reach. And then padding your way all the way back to center here. And switching sides. So taking your left foot out to the side. The toes are pointing up. The right foot comes into the side here. And then see where it lands. Maybe your foot's here, maybe it's there. You can come all the way into the groin here. And see if it comes down, pointing your toes up, the fingertips on either side. Maybe you have your cushions to hand. You can make this pose your own. in its own lovely way for your body today. So inhale, lifting up and out of your waist. It's exhale, going over that foot, like you're pulling your chest forwards towards your toes and pushing down with this back leg. Lifting forward. Exhaling to soften down. Inhale forward. Exhale, soften. And walk yourself all the way back up here. And you can take your legs out to the side, and we're going to take them all the way around to the front edge of your mat. So you come down into a supine position, gently rolling your spine all the way down. You can hold your legs to help you roll down slowly here. Take a moment to settle down in this space. Coming back to your breath. Maybe the hands rest on your belly. You can feel the gentle rise and fall here. Can you pull your left foot away? Feel like the heel is sliding away from you as you tuck in your right leg towards you, maybe grabbing the back of the knee here. Pull the right knee in and the left heel drags away. Releasing your right leg back down to the earth. The heel pulls down. And then pulling your right heel away. The left leg comes up. Hug the back of the knee, drawing your leg in. And then release it back down to the earth here. And taking both feet to the mat. So bending your knees, taking your feet into the mat. We'll take a gentle twist. So dropping your knees over to the right. Maybe they stay here. Maybe you want to stack them so you can always take the top leg. Bring it up and over onto the other knee. Maybe your hand rests a little weight on your knees here. Your left hand can come out to the side. Your head can slowly turn to the left if that feels good. And rest here in this twist. Allowing your spine to unravel. Coming back to your rhythm, your breath. Your inhale. Your exhale. Beginning to unravel by bringing your head back to center. Hands can release from your leg if it was rested there. Gently inhale your legs back up to center. Resting here in center for a moment, your feet planted down, your knees pointing up. And then dropping your knees over to your left. And they can stay here. Maybe you stack the legs. Taking your right hand out to the side, the head can follow. Your left hand rests on your legs, maybe it's out to the side as well. Unraveling your spine in this twist. Coming to your breath, your rhythm. Preparing for your bridge pose. Rolling your shoulders under a little bit. The hands can press down at the side. Your feet press down, and by pressing firmly down with your feet, it allows your hips to lift up. So press down and lift your hips. A very gentle inversion here. Lift your hips up, pressing down. Inhale, exhale. Slowly peel your spine back down to your mat, all the way down. And prepare for your Shavasana. Take your knees. And prepare for your Shavasana. Taking your feet out to the sides. Dropping them down. Rolling your shoulders out. Finding a comfortable place for your hands to rest. Maybe you use your props here to place them under your knees. Take a moment to set up your Shavasana. We'll take a gentle body scan down to relax your body. It's taking that energy we've been using from the crown of your head. Feel it passing down your forehead. Do your brows feel knitted? Can you soften and relax your brows? Down past your eyes as you soften your gaze. Down your jaw. Does it feel clenched and tight? Can you release and let go? Down your neck. Down your shoulders and into your hands. The energy travels all the way through your arms. Out into your hands and each fingertip. Relinquishing them into the earth. Your arms and hands rest into the earth's gentle, nurturing space. The energy passes down from your shoulders through your heart space as your back rests on the mat, melting into the floor. Feel the soft beat of your heart, the expansion and contraction of your rib cage. As the energy flows down through your belly, the soft rise and fall of each breath. Down your hip as they melt into the mat, allowing the earth to take your weight. Down your legs, your strong pillars that hold you up. Feel the backs of your legs dropping into the floor, coming down to land. As the energy flows through your legs and into your feet, and out of each of your toes. Melting into the earth. And as thoughts come in and out, allow them to drift by like little clouds. Just note them. Allow them to go off in the breeze, carried away. Coming back to your breath, your inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Coming back to your breath, your inhale, exhale. Becoming aware of the sounds around you, the space you're in. To begin to deepen your breath. Inviting some gentle movement into your fingers. Maybe your toes wiggle. Preparing to roll over to your side very slowly. Maybe take one arm out to the side and very gently roll over to your side. And then pressing yourself gently all the way up, taking that calm stillness with you as you come up. The gaze can stay soft. Coming into a seated position that works for you. Coming to land in this space. Coming back to your breath. Each inhale and exhale. Reconnecting with your breath. Taking a moment to note how your breath feels now compared to the beginning. Any changes. And taking one hand to your heart and one to your belly. Feel your inner rhythm, your breath. Each inhale and exhale. Giving thanks to yourself today for taking time for your practice, for your own mental and physical well-being. And taking this feeling of calm and this gentle breath with you throughout your day. Just one last time all together. Inhale in and exhale out.